What's up, everybody? Jed Johnson here from dieselcrew.com. Of course, you know they call me Napalm. This video is a little bit different. I'm putting it in the Q&A. It's something I thought about putting up before, but I just had a little discussion with Josh Culpepper. He's looking to run a contest in February on the 17th in the St. Louis area, and he doesn't have any signups yet. So I kind of threw some ideas at him about how to get people interested in it, and so I think this is going to be valuable. Hopefully, you know, this video will stay up for a while and a lot of people will benefit from it. So I just jotted down notes, got a couple pages here. I'm going to try to get through everything in a reasonable amount of time, but like, Josh isn't alone. I've talked to a lot of people, and usually how it goes is, hey, can you let me know when there's more contests coming up? So that's why I have a newsletter dedicated to grip sport interest. So if you're interested in knowing when contests are coming up, you need to let me know, and I'll get your email on there. So that's what I can do on my end. However, the easiest way to get the feedback I get is, well, those are like 4 hours away. Dude, I've driven like 15 hours to contest. You got to put in some work. But anyway, an easier way to grow grip in your area is for you to start running contests. So I'm going to assume that people have an idea of what you're doing with a contest. But in order to get people to come to your contest, you got to like grow your territory. So like, you got to think, so for me, I'm in Wyalusing, Pennsylvania. My territory, you got to decide where you're going to try to pull people from. So I get people from all over Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, New York, up in New England. I got a big territory. That's not to say I've gone and grown grip in all those areas, but I've done a great deal of travel in the last 20 years, going around and like getting this stuff in people's hands. So if you say, oh, well, no one around me does grip, like, no kidding. Most people don't even know what grip is, let alone know that you do it or that you're in their area. So like, you got to really like beat feet and get out there and like make people aware of this stuff. So you got to grow your territory. So think about it this way. How did you find out about grip? Whatever that was, then you should do that. Okay? So a lot of people tell me that they found out about grip through my YouTube channel. So maybe you should start a YouTube channel and start posting about grip. You might get 12 views on these videos, but maybe you should do that. Social media is cool for sharing what you've done for grip, but I don't know how big it is at like pulling new people in. I'm not sure, because I barely use social media for grip. I use only my YouTube channel. But you can try it. I mean, once you shoot a video for YouTube, you can upload it on social media. I don't know what the time limitations are on social media anymore. It seems like it changes every time I try to share something, but do what you can. One of the things I've done a lot over the years is I go to gyms and I'll contact the owner and say, hey, you got a powerlifting meet, you got an Olympic lifting meet, you got a strongman contest. Do you care if I set up a table and run a grip challenge? And so what I did for years was the World Series of Grip. And I would take number 3 gripper, inch dumbbell, 50-pound blob, and a old school York 45-pound hub, and challenge people to lift those things. Almost nobody was able to lift it, but they would come up and try, and then I would give them a flyer. It was just a one-page handout about what grip is. And I made sure my website was on there, my YouTube channel, my cell phone, contact information, so that people can get back to me. So I've handed out thousands of those flyers over the years. The most important thing, though, is you got to get their email address or their contact information somehow to follow up with them. That is something that I didn't do for years. So like, I would hand out all these flyers, and I never hear back from people. And it's because people forget about it. They might have been real pumped at the thing, but maybe they lose the sheet. You got to have the contact information so you can email them back. Now, I'm not saying that you need to get a subscription for like a professional email newsletter. What I'm saying is you need to get an email list that you can just copy and paste and write a new email each time. I did that for years. I had no newsletter for like 5 years. Eventually I got one. But you need to follow up and say, hey, I'm doing this at this gym on, January 1st, and I'd like to have you come out. It's going to be a real simple thing, and maybe you'll have fun again, So take some equipment, talk to people, get their hands chalked up, get their hands on the stuff, and say, yeah, man, I do this all the time. This is a lot of fun, and it's called grip sport, and basically what we're looking for is ways to test strong hands. Who's got the strongest hands? By the way, if you get your hands stronger, it's going to help you out on all your other lifts. That's why I started doing grip. I wanted to get better at strongman, so I started doing grip because I figured it would be real good carryover, and it was. And all my other lifts blew up. So, come about it that way. Talk about your personal experience. See what they do. Are they CrossFit, powerlifting, strongman, climbers, stuff like that? All grip is complementary to all that stuff, including bodybuilders. Like, stuff like bent over rows, my squat, my bench, everything felt easier because my hands were stronger. So relay that kind of information. Oh, this is something I can do in my gym for an hour, and maybe even not an hour, maybe half an hour, and it can help them in their training, and then maybe they get hooked, Just remember that when you go to a gym, let's say you're going to go to a gym and do a grip workout and try to get some people involved. Remember, we're growing the territory here. You've scoped out your territory. Now you got to go find people. It doesn't matter who they are. You don't go up to the biggest dude. You go up to a bunch of dudes. Hey, you want to try this? And then it's about them. It's not about you. You're sacrificing your workout in this case. You're going to pay the $10 drop-in fee, and going in that you're going to have a shitty workout because you're going in there to pull people from your territory into your little clan. Hey, can I get your email? Because we're probably going to do this again sometime. I'll make sure you know about it ahead of time, and then you can come and you'll be ready for it, and you'll have an idea. And oh, by the way, just do this and show them like very basic stuff. So the way that I got Luke involved in grip was like, I talked about it all the time when he was doing therapy on my shoulder, and I told him, come on over sometime, I'll show you what I'm talking about, because it's kind of hard to visualize. When he got there, I showed him a bunch of the most basic grip stuff, like 2 10s, 3 10s, 4 10s, 5 10s, stuff like that. And when he lifted 4 10s, I was like, holy shit, you fucking lifted 4 10s? That's incredible, dude. So I made it look like everything that he was doing was earth-shattering. And that worked, man, because he ended up coming to the first contest that I did. And now look, we've been training together for 11 years, something like that, 12 years. So you got to come out of your shell a little bit. And in this, I'm also kind of talking to my younger self. What did I do wrong? Okay, so I'm including those kinds of things. That was some of the stuff that I was thinking about when I was writing these notes. I could have done a better job of that, because I'd have a gripper out at a strength clinic, and I'd be smashing it, and then I'd hand it to people and they wouldn't close it. I'm like, no, you got to do it like this, and then I'd fucking smash it again. That really doesn't do anything. So you got to work with them, show them how to set it, stuff like that. Because people have seen rinky-dink grippers with a tiny spring and foam handles, but they've never seen these heavy grippers before, at least not back then. So you got to work with them a little bit. But give them simple stuff. Try to make it sound like they're doing earth-shattering shit, and they will get more interested that way. So I would find out where all the gyms are. And don't say, hey, I want to run a contest. Can I use your gym? No. Go in and say, I know you have a gym. I know you got a bunch of people in there that are strength trainers. I can show them how to get better. Can I come in there for a couple hours on some Saturday or Sunday when it's not crazy and just do a free clinic? And the gym owner is going to say, wow, that's a great benefit for my lifters. Because he's thinking a gym owner is thinking, how can I keep my members as long as possible? They want to extend the life of their client. So if they can offer them free stuff, they'll do it. And when it's knowledge and information that can help them out, then they're going to take advantage of that. So approach with a giving hand. You have the information, you want to share it. And the pitch needs to be that you're trying to help him out with his clientele to make them better lifters and enjoy lifting more. And when you go in there, you start with like some information like, hey, today I'm going to show you how to get your hands stronger, because when your hands are stronger, you're going to lift more weight, you're going to do more reps, you're going to have more control over the implement, you're going to feel more confident, you're going to have less distractions, all this stuff. And then your results are going to go up. So this is what we're going to do. And you start out with very basic stuff. You can bring grippers, but don't even take them out until the very end. Just show them like some stuff to do with the barbell, double overhand grip. Most people don't even think about doing double overhand grip on deadlifts before they start strapping in or doing alternated grip. So keep it simple. Do a face-off. Throw a bar in the cage. Have it off the ground about 2 feet. Load some weight on each end of the bar and just have them grab the loading sleeve and they face off against each other and see who can hold it longer. And dude, do you have any idea how many people I had do that back in the day? Did they get into grip? No, it's because I didn't leverage it. Because I just figured people were going to be as excited about something as I was and they would want to do competitions. That's not how it works. The success rate of conversion of people into grip competitors is very low. But you will increase that conversion if you maintain contact with them. So get their information and then contact them. Not all the time, don't annoy them, but once a week, a couple times a month, something like that. Don't charge the owner any money, because he's probably already operating on a shoestring budget and can't afford to give you money. So just like say, maybe he'll give you a shirt or something like that, or just let you make that place like your home away from home, and maybe you can get a free workout in or something like that. Low stakes. Take flyers with you, hand them out to everybody, get their information. All you need is a single sheet of paper and have either them fill it out with their email or put it into your phone on a notes document and have them type it out. I say this because I have never thrown away a single piece of paper that I've taken to these clinics, to these appearances and things like that. I still have them, and try as I might, some email addresses I cannot tell what the hell they wrote. They put thetas in instead of zeros. Is that an 8? Who knows? But make sure you get their email address and make sure it's like written correctly. Speaking along the lines of flyers, if you're going to do something, post like across the street, there's a bulletin board. Why haven't I ever put anything in that bulletin board? Like, it's free. Like, have you seen the stuff that's on bulletin boards? Like, you can damn well sure the local pro wrestling league that was in this area for a while had something on that bulletin board every single time they had a promotion coming up. And there's bulletin boards at all the gas stations, all the mini marts, all of the supermarkets, stuff like that. And generally you don't even have to ask. You can just open that thing up and put something on the bulletin board. You just got to bring your own thumbtacks. You can paper Facebook groups. Like, there's a million Facebook groups for gyms, for types of lifting, for bodybuilding, for CrossFit, for all that stuff. And like, you don't have to even like do much to get into the group. And then go into the Facebook group and say, hey, if you want to learn how to strengthen your hands, then I'm doing this at this gym, or I'm doing it at my house, or I'm going to set up a table out on the sidewalk somewhere, whatever it is, and tell people about it. You might get a couple people. There's community groups too. So like my town is Wyalusing. You can find Wyalusing groups, and then just put it in there. You're gonna get all kinds of people showing up. What I mean is you're gonna get all different types of people showing up, and you can hope that they are strength training people, but maybe it's just someone that like trains in their house all the time and is just bored to death and they want to do something different. So all these things are just ideas that you can do, and you might get one or two people. If it doesn't work, don't be afraid to try it again, but if it just doesn't work out, then don't do that again and try something else. All right, if you're going to schedule a contest and you don't have a lot of people signing up, it may be because of the events. So I know Josh has the Euro in his event. Well, nobody knows what a Euro is. Nobody knows what two-hand pinch is. So make them very basic events. You could literally run a tournament-style contest with that face-off thing that I talked about. Like we would go to the gym back in the day, and there'd be 8 people there. I'd be like, hey, you want to try this? And they'd be like, no. I was like, well, you're going to try this anyway. And you'd like, go grab them, push them over to the thing, and we would have a face-off. And by the end, everybody's laughing and smiling. It's fun. They're doing some shit talk. It's a great time. What I would do is, for events, I would keep grippers out in the first event, because all that is a deterrent. Because if they do sign up, they're not going to know what to do with the gripper. And they're going to have a shit performance, and then you're going to have one person that's trained grippers before, and everybody's going to fail. All the dudes are going to fail on the number 1, but you're going to have one sucker that shows up and can close a 2.5, and they're like, oh, I suck. This is stupid. I'm not going to do this anymore. So, like, you don't want to have crazy events that are too complex, because it's going to turn people away and they're not going to come back. And you did all that work to try to get these people to come, and then it was like a big turnoff for them. And it just made them feel worthless, so they're not going to come back. So I would do like a real basic, like maybe 3 lifts, like some kind of rolling handle that's not huge, because you want to welcome all comers. So you want to have men, women, youth. You want to have all age groups show up. And if it's like a 3-inch rolling handle, like a Titan that weighs like 50 frickin' pounds, that's going to be a turnoff. Make it like a 2-inch handle. And another thing that's just popping into my head is, don't have the loading pin be super high, because like some of the women and youth athletes are so short that they can't really operate with a 15, 16-inch loading pin. So have a loading pin that's a little bit shorter so they can actually do the lift. You can have them pinch plates, like 10s, 25s, and just you could have them do reps for time. You could have them do time holds. You could have a couple rolling handles. You could have a pinch block, stuff like that. Stuff that's really simple, where they just basically have to grab it with their hand and lift it up. Nothing that's going to be like overwhelming weight. Like, don't put a blob out there. Nobody's going to lift a blob their first try. You're going to reach down. It's going to be 8 inches in front of their feet. It's suboptimal position. They're not going to be able to lift it. Don't do that. Maybe have a medley, but you're going to have to show them how to do stuff, and keep it light if you're going to do that. Some other stuff. Every area, every town and city in the United States has like a chamber of commerce or some kind of thing where a bunch of businesses get together. See if you can find out when those meetings take place, and go to one of those meetings and say, look, this is what I'm doing. If you have people at your place of work that do strength training, please hand this to them. Let them know that I'm doing this. It's free. And when you schedule something at your gym or some gym in the area, get them coming there. If you're really working hard at this, you may want to have them confirm, basically register by emailing you or texting you. And that way, probably the easiest way is through text. And when they text you, get their name and say, "Hey, what's your email address?" Because it's a little bit easier for me to send a mass email than it is a mass text. Community groups, I think I kind of touched on that through Facebook, but like community groups is really general. Like I'm talking like fire halls, the fire department in your area. A lot of those dudes are probably pretty rugged dudes, and they could use some kind of release in their life. So this could be their way to get that. Feel good about themselves, get a little exercise in, and that's good. And then next thing you know, you're helping a fireman that might be like pulling you out of a burning building someday. So, there's all kind of churches. Make an appearance at a church and say, "Hey, this is what I'm planning. This is real good for you. It's not going to be crazy. I'm not going to make you super sore," stuff like that. Just an idea. You might want to use strong hands, strongest hands, stronger hands, hand strength, stuff like that, instead of grip sport, grip strength, because people don't know what that is, but they know what strong hands is. So think about your word choice in order to create some kind of a marketing scheme that will register with people a little bit better. I would definitely let's keep it real, man. Like after 20 years, I don't make much money on these contests whatsoever. So you should expect to take a loss on your first contest without a doubt. You're not going to get any sponsorship support unless you know a lot of people. So if you're, like my benefit is I know I've worked at a couple factories and I know a lot of people from those factories. So I have a network of people that's a little bit larger than most people in this area. So, there's people I can reach out to. And at this point I know some people that have, contacts. So I could reach out to them and say, "Hey, could you spread the word?" I don't usually do that. But you could certainly do it. A lot of the stuff I could do, but I would have to take the time to do it. And I'm generally so strapped for time that it becomes a block against me doing it. But if you're really serious and you're starting out and you want to grow this, then it takes effort. And there's not always a big return on your investment of money and time. So set a limit to a budget. Say I'm gonna try to spend less than $200 on this contest, and hopefully you can handle a $200 loss. Maybe you'll charge them a nominal fee. I know a lot of guys that are running contests right now only charge a nominal fee, like $10. So you'll at least make some money back, and then take all that money to buy more ink for your printer and or set it in a kitty for some prizes, some real cheap prizes for the next contest that you do. But think about all the money that comes in is going into the next contest. If you're lucky to get a sponsor, then make sure that you send a thank you note to the sponsor before the contest. Invite them to come and check it out, and make sure that they know that when they come, they can bring all the marketing materials that they want to that competition. So at nationals, I got a sponsorship from a friend who owns a business in this area, and I scaled it so they could do 50, 100, 250, 500, and if they did 500, then they could bring a representative from the company and set up a table, which they did. So that worked out real nice. But you probably won't get many sponsors, just being honest. Now, there are people who have been very successful at getting sponsors. But I guarantee you it took a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. Joel Dirks, I know, has sponsorships coming from major companies, supplement companies, and things like that. I don't know how he got those sponsors, but I guarantee you he worked really hard on them. Um, so it just depends on how much time you have and how much effort you're willing to put in to get sponsors. I think that's enough talk about sponsors. You're probably not going to get any anyway in the beginning. You want to think about the time and money that you're putting in to this first contest is time and money that you're investing to get people to keep coming down the road. So once they get to the contest, like I said, the events need to be real simple. You need to make it really fun. Maybe don't even compete at your first contest. You don't want to. What are you gaining by blowing all these newbies out of the water at a contest? Absolutely nothing. So don't even compete. Just work to make it the most fun experience you can make. For instance, when Luke and I used to do grip contests alongside arm wrestling events, that was a huge opportunity. We made it a ton of fun for everybody. I think there were a couple times we even used a microphone. The one time, so basically we would have 3 handles, and doesn't matter what handles they are, but you didn't have to lift a lot of weight on them. So we would you'd have them lift it. If they got it, maybe throw another 5 pounds on, have them lift it again. And then once they can't lift it, they had 3 strikes. So I remember this one contest in particular, dude lifted it, and then he got to a certain weight where he couldn't lift it, and I was like, strike 1! And everybody was like, what the hell is that? Strike 2! And people were like turning around, strike 3, you're out! And everybody's laughing. You got more people coming around. So save your voice like the day before the contest, like Ozzy Osbourne, so you can be as loud as possible if you're going to go to like a public setting. It works great, I'm telling you. You got to become the circus barker at some of these things. And then just close out to reiterate, you are not going to do these mini promotions in order to get like the top 5 strongest dudes in the gym to become grip athletes. No. You are looking to promote to men, women, youth, the masters category, 50 and above. You're looking to get everybody involved because you do not know who you're dealing with. Just because they're not the brute of the gym, that brute at the gym might be so insecure he won't try this stuff. But you get some of those youth kids in there, they're like, oh yeah, this is a ton of fun. And then next thing you know, for their birthday, they're getting a rolling handle for their birthday. So you got to plant seeds. It's like 40-year-old virgin, where you don't just find the first chick and have sex with her. You got to plant seeds. You got to water the seeds, and you got to grow like I don't know what they say in there. It's Seth Rogen talking, but you got to plant seeds. So find a way to plant seeds. You'll grow your community. You'll grow your territory, but you own that territory. That's your territory. Become the grip guy in the territory and put the work in, and you will get more people. But like just posting on the grip board and just posting on social media, remember, the people watching, the people reading those posts are all over the world, and most people won't travel more than a couple hours to get to a contest, let alone fly. You got to get out in your local community more and be a presence and make your presence felt. And even if you're an introverted person like myself, get good at being uncomfortable and being a funny guy and entertaining, and create a spectacle where people are having fun, and you will get more people involved. So again, this is partially a message to my younger self, because I did a lot of this stuff wrong and wasted a lot of opportunities that were given to me. And I think if I would have just done one thing, collecting people's contact information so that I could follow up with them, it would have been a lot better as far as the growth of the sport in my area. So if anyone watching is interested interested in getting on my weekly newsletter where I promote the events calendar for Grip Sport International, just reach out to me, jed.diesel@gmail.com, jedd.diesel@gmail.com, and I will get you added. The next newsletter goes out, it's supposed to be this afternoon, and it's already 2 o'clock, and it goes out at 3. So that means I got to get to work on this. So I'm going to end this video right now. Hope you enjoyed it, got something out of it. If so, give it one of these. Be sure to subscribe. If you have any contributions that you can make to this topic about what you have done to grow grip sport in your area, then feel free to leave a comment below. All the best in your training, everybody. Take care.